What's happening, everybody? Got a little quick announcement. We changed the name of the channel. The channel is now MSF Garage because the dope channel, I had so many people ask me, like, why would you name it the dope channel? That sounds like you're talking about drugs, but it was really, the dope was an acronym for something. But anyways, to make it an easier, and if the channel ever gets big enough and gets monetized or anything, I don't want to have any issues with Google. So we changed it to MSF, which is still an acronym, and I wanted to make it just say, it's Make Shit Fast Garage. So I was gonna do M, and then it would be S with a bunch of asterisks, but then I was like, we better not do that either. The name of the channel now is MSF Garage, but today, what are we doing? We've got a GMC Sierra. This is an 05. Regular cab short bed too, which I didn't expect when it came over. It's got no oil pressure. It's not making any noise. So I believe the person, when it lost oil pressure, they quit driving it, hopefully, and everything's good. A couple days ago, on my way home, or not on my way home, but I brought my oil pressure gauge home from work, and I started it up because I wanted to verify it was this that actually had no oil pressure, or that the sensor just wasn't bad. And it's super easy to pull the intake. So I pulled the intake, pulled the oil pressure sensor out, hooked the gauge into it, and it indeed doesn't have any oil pressure. Like if you rev it up on a cold start, it might have 25 psi oil pressure, but it starts falling off. I'll start it up for you guys, and you can see that it doesn't have oil pressure. You can hear that the lifters are noisy, but if you rev it up a little, it will get a little oil pressure. It's not knocking or anything there, it's starting to build. And the lifters are a little noisy. If you rev it up though, the lifter noise goes away, and it'll get about 25 psi oil pressure. I don't want to let it run too long because I'm going to work on it. So I'm just going to leave my gauge hooked up to it, and I'm going to start pulling the front accessories. I'm not going to do the whole thing tonight. This will be a couple different clips, but it'll probably all be one video anyways. But I'm gonna pull the belt, and I'm gonna see if I can leave this bracket on. So we're changing the oil pump. I bought a Melling. It's all inside, I'll show you later. It's a Melling high volume pump because it's got like almost 300,000 miles on it, and it comes with a pickup tube and the O-rings and everything you need. And I got the stuff like water pump gasket, timing seal, the front cover seal, the crank pulley seal. I got a crank pulley bolt. And then there's, coolant and changing the oil in it and stuff because it's going to have to be drained. And then I'll start it up, and I'll leave the gauge and everything the way it is. I should be able to take it all apart and leave the intake on just like this. And I'm thinking I can leave the power steering whole entire bracket on, depending on if I can get to the bolts on the timing cover or not, because I don't really want to take apart the power steering lines, and I don't have the tool to take the pulley off, to take the pump off the bracket. So I'm going to see if I can just pull the water pump and the AC belt and the crank pulley, and see if I can get the timing cover. Okay, we're back. It's been about 10 or 15 minutes. I got the water pump off, which is pretty easy. I mean, you got lower hose, upper hose, 2 heater core hoses, and then there's 6 bolts around it. Pulled the impact out, busted the crank pulley. I had to heat it up a little, the bolt, and it's out, and it fell down in my drain pan down there. But now I'm gonna get the I have the GM style harmonic balancer puller. If you look, that's the crank pulley puller right there, and there's a little notch that it grabs into. There's 3 jaws. There's one there, and one underneath. It's 24. Get my Harbor Freight ratchet here. I was gonna bring my work with Missouri right now is closing St. Louis and stuff because of the freaking crazy sickness going on around the world, and my work was gonna talk about like closing down, and then we found that being a car repair is essential business. So St. Louis, in St. Louis right now, just in the county and city. I live in St. Charles County, which is the next county over, and there's way less cases of it in St. Charles County, but I work in St. Louis County. So anyways, I was thinking I was going to be off work And I was gonna borrow a trailer, the neighbor's trailer, because he's got a tilt trailer. It's like kind of a small one that would allow me to just roll my whole work toolbox and bring all my good tools home from work. But then they said we're essential, so they're closing the sales department but leaving the service department open. So I gotta get in all these fucking cars, all these sick nasty fucks. Have to get some Mexican beer flu virus. So this might be the last video you guys see. I might die. And there's the crank pulley, but today is March 23rd. So this is kind of still the beginning of this whole pandemic and whatever else. So we're just waiting it out. But there's the crank pulley. Let me show you those little notches. This is different. On the usually you grab, like they have a little, hopefully that shows up on this camera. Let me see. So usually, like on my other truck, this little tab, there'll be one on this side. And you can grab this crank pulley's got these little notches right there. I grabbed it and pulled it right off. So now we're down to, we got to get that. There's a wiring harness down there. Let's see. There's a wiring harness down there, way down there below the crank pulley, or the front of the crank. Figure out how to get that off. I'll have to douse this whole entire thing in 50 cans of brake clean so I can see. And then yeah, I think I can pull the timing cover off without even fucking with the water pump or the power steering pump, because the timing cover runs right along here. What's up, everybody? Back at it again. It's been 2 days because it was raining and I didn't feel like working on it much more that one night. So today, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna drop the oil pan and we're gonna pull the pickup off, and then we'll be able to pull the front cover and then change the oil pump. And I'm hoping to get all the way back to basically where it is now, just with the new oil pump in. And then that way tomorrow all I gotta do is put the crank pulley on, and Michael's gonna come over and help me tighten it because it's torque to yield and stuff. And we gotta have somebody holding the crank or something so I can tighten it, and then put the water pump and stuff on. Should be pretty easy. Hopefully I don't have a big problem getting the cross member out to get the oil pan off and stuff. Strip it on me. So we got, oh, there's a power steering rack in the way, but I think we just pull them 2 bolts and we probably can just lower it enough. Then there's a wiring harness there. What else? This thing's leaky. Maybe those 2 bolts on the back. Yeah. We're gonna see how far we can get. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't know about the steering rack. Hoping I can just drop it down, hopefully, and it won't pull the little collapsible part out. First thing though, we need to see if we can get this cross member off. So what are them? Them are probably 13s. Get a 13. Pull them off. And then the bar, the cross member itself is probably I have to guess a 15 or 18 or something like that. Got the oil pan off. Brian's sharpening knives. He's found a knife in the trash or something. It's got blood on it. Who knows? There's a pan. For no oil pressure, there is not a bit of metal in this pan anywhere. There's a tiny bit of sludge in the bottom, but that's to be expected with 278,000. But I mean, it's minimal. So, I'll show you what I had to do. Took the cross member out. It's right there. I just pushed them bars back. I didn't even take them all the way off. And then I did have to pull the rack loose to just get enough room to get it go past the pickup tube. So it's 224s on the rack, and just popped it off and let it just sag a little, and the pan came perfectly right out. And it's clean because they use a real gasket, not silicone, so I don't have to fuck around with putting silicone on it or anything. So now I can take the pickup tube off, and then I can take the front cover off and put the oil pump on, which be like, 20 minutes. This is probably only taking me like 45 minutes to get this far. Oh, it does have the oil stick. I had to unplug that, but nothing crazy. Pretty simple. I love working on these GMs. They're super, super easy to work on. It's awesome. I could never do this on a Ford in my driveway. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set you guys up, and then I'm going to take the pickup tube off. Alright, there's a bolt on just the one side. Got dripped on in the mouth. Don't ever have your mouth open when you're working on a car. Looks like 13, 13, and a 10. Get it off. That's one of the oil pan bolts. The last one. It's up here. Let's see if we can get her kind of right out. Come on.
Oh, that's a support bracket?
No, this is a pickup tube.
Yeah, I know, but your bolt you're undoing this.
Oh yeah, it just holds it on. The screen is very clean. See that? Yeah. The screen has not got nothing in it. The pan is super clean. So I'm gonna go get the new oil pump. Got a Melling M295HV, and it's got high volume, 18% or something more is what it says. There's the pump all together. New pickup tube. That's why I ordered this one, because it came as a kit. That's just all the timing cover, gasket, oil pan gasket, front crank seal, timing, front crank pulley bolt, all the stuff you need. So yeah, I'm gonna go put this pickup tube. No, I'm gonna take the front cover off, take the pump off, put the new pump on, then I'll put the pickup tube and everything on. So I'll show you guys that. The timing cover off. There's one bolt that's like behind right here. It's behind the AC compressor deal. I had to use a wrench and break it loose, and then I was able to spin it out with my fingers. But the timing cover's off. The gasket's still stuck on there. There's your oil pump. You got 4 10s.
Lock.
10. 10.
Damn, I'm getting loose.
No, this gun's alright. And
oh, look at that.
you're supposed to, like, because it's got some play, put a feeler gauge in there and like feeler gauge it even and shit. And then what I do is I just kind of feel where I'm like in the middle, and then I just kind of feel, hit them.
So that play that you felt earlier is basically centered on the shaft.
Yeah. Way more than torque to spec. So there's your 4-point grate oil pump installed. That's a Melling unit. Little stronger, or supposed to be a little more volume than the Ryan's opening the pickup tube for us. What I've learned on these is the oil pan is riveted on. There's a little rivet there. This is a trick I've learned, breaking them off nice and flat. Put it right up underneath that, and then just pop it. Didn't break it off, so I'll hit it right on the rivet. I'm right under it. Hopefully you guys seeing that. And it just pops it right out. And then you've just got the little dimple where the rivet goes. That's it. Pan on, cross member, the rack is back in there. I gotta buy an oil filter for it still. That's old. I'll have to do that tomorrow. But everything is buttoned up underneath. The timing cover is back on. So tomorrow I have to change the oil filter and put the crank pulley on, water pump, put oil in it. Like 30 minutes. Start it up, see if it works. Ooh, hopefully. It has like no oil pressure, you guys saw. Back at it again, day 3. Michael's here to help. That's all we've done. Slid the crank pulley on. I'm gonna get my pulley installer tool to kind of run it down some, and then you got to put the old bolt in, and what is it, 240 it says? Tighten it to 240, and then remove it. Then you tighten the new one to 37, and then you do 140 degrees. So I'm just gonna get my pulley installer tool, and I'm just gonna run it on a bunch because it's kind of a bitch to get the impact in there to kind of get it started and stuff. So
that shit is crusty.
Yeah, this truck's pretty grody.
Taco Bell on Monday, and I had cheesy gordita.
Oh, got my arm wrapped up like a freaking gordita.
Had a cheesy gordita.
Crunch or just regular?
Nah, just a regular.
Oh boy.
No, it was a crunch, yeah. It was wrapped around the taco. It was a crunch. And then, what else do I have?
I'm gonna have to get Brandon to fucking fix this ratchet.
Yeah, if he ever comes to fucking work.
He's probably scared of Corona. Alright, so that's 37 foot-pounds. We already put the new one in and tightened it, or the old bolt in and tightened it to 240 to put it on all the way, basically.
Smash the...
Get it on all the way.
Smash the shaft.
Now we do 140, because my grandma's from Pacific. 140. All the way down 40. It's already on 140. I must have used this on cylinder heads the last time or something. Oh, I did. I used it on that Escape. Alright, so we're going to do 140 degrees. Stand over here so when it slips off, I can punch the side of my elbow against the battery box. That's 41.
Got a little ways to go there, Chief.
Oh, Billy Goat. 76. Good lord, that's going to be a lot.
Don't really, y'all end up dropping it.
Oh my god, come on!
You didn't see that?
Okay, that's got to be enough. Got the key? I'm shaking. I hope this works. I think it should. There's the gauge, Michael. Show them the gauge. We're still mechanical. I'm going to start it up. Boom.
Almost 60 PSI.
Ooh! So she's good. We fixed her. Going for a test. Let me get the gauge. What do we got? 50?
Yeah, about.
Holding 50 at idle in gear? At least killing the game, bro. I can't get any more. Perfect. 75. Making about 80 PSI just driving around. If you floor it, it'd probably make about 300. Ooh, she turns, boys.
Good.
Don't drive in the grass. Perfect. Yeah, I say she's good. Runs fucking like a champ. That's how you put an oil pump on a 4.8, just so you guys know. I thought it was just a little video of some normal content, not hood rat shit or working on race car stuff, which we don't. But anyways, thanks for watching the MSF channel. MSF Garage. That's what it is, right, Michael? MSF Garage.